Hi again folks, another trade, live trade example happening with Stratman here from pitware.com. The current trade I'm looking at is a, what are we, Euro Yen, 1 hour. I'm seeing that we've already made 40 pips in the Asian session already from the start of the day. Looking at the dashboard, that's a good place to be looking at starting to trade. We've just had a break here of the last H4 candle, but it's failed to kind of really get anywhere, although we're forming an inside bar here, inside this last 1 hour bar, and we're right on this quite steep trend line. The thing that's of major interest to me right now is the fact that we've got divergence. Price here is making higher highs, but the stochastics here is making lower highs. So if I take that all the way from basically down here, this is what stochastics is showing me. It was overbought way back here, yet it still continued to rise and rise and rise, and even on our last little push up, we're still showing quite a bit of divergence. So that's a good heads up on the possibility that the oscillator is telling us we're going to be going downwards, but price action is just kind of tapering off here, so we might get a break of this trend line very shortly. So we'll be looking to see that. Go over to the THB side of things and see what's kind of happening there. If we look at our main chart on say M15, we're hitting around the top of the first resistance point for daily pivots, and we've had a bounce off it. We've tried to break through, but it's been rejected and come back down. It's now sitting just below the cloud. We're just above the corals on the M5. We don't have good tricks kind of indication to trade right at the moment. The first thing was that this crossover here, potentially we could have got into a trade right at this point because we got the crossover and the nice kind of space increasing between the two trickses there. So you know, M5 is not setting up that well, although it's kind of, the lights are telling me that we're kind of just a middle ground. What's the M15 doing? Well, it's been shown a little bit bullish, but on M15 it's starting to show maybe a turn for the downside. The other thing is that the M15 is clearly showing divergence here. So if I take that peak up to this peak, that's a higher high, yet if I look at the fast tricks, we've got a high there and it's making a lower high. So we've got divergence all over the place, kind of giving us a bit of a heads up that price could be going downwards. Our M1 rules are just about met. In fact, on M1 it looks like price is just about to turn. We've got the fast tricks probably start heading downwards for the crossover of the zero there. Where's our target? Well, we're aiming for the daily pivot, which is at 82 there. So let's just measure up that. Potentially there's 53 pips down to the daily pivot from where we are right now, so that's a nice little bit of space that we want to trade towards. What's happening with moving averages? Let's go to our M15. Well, you know, we want to see this trend line broken before we get into a trade here. So we're seeing clearly nice divergence here just on the M15. If I just show this a bit clearer here, we're making lower highs on our oscillator, yet price was making higher highs just here. So very good indication that we could be about to break this trend line. So I'm looking for a break of the trend line, which will get us over the other side of our moving average here. What kind of distance have I got down to my next moving average? We've got about 68 pips, so that means the pivot's kind of somewhere in the middle here. So could be a good trade ready to occur on a break of this point here. So let's get ready for it. We just change time frame again, and if I look at the M30 as well, you know, this divergence is really showing up quite well. clearly price is having a little bit of trouble compared to its oscillator. Go back to here, and we'll look at the M30 on here as well, and we can see that here too. So THV we can change to any time frame we like and have a good look. So there we go. Clearly oscillators are all saying go down, go short, but yet price action's been making higher highs. So we really need to see trend starting to make lower lows and lower highs to really get into good trading on this. So higher high here, we've got a higher low here than before, so we really need to start seeing that. A break of this trend line is really going to nail that for us, I think, and potentially if we get a lower high here would be optimum for us. Okay, so as kind of predicted, the divergence here has given us a good heads up on the fact that price is probably going to break the trend line. THV rules are all now met on the two time frames of interest, M5 and M1 to me. Whoops, wrong chart. Let's go back to here. Okay, so as you can see, we've kind of got all the rules met on our M5 time frame. Good trick stuff going on. We're pretty happy there. So let's just monitor the trade and see where we end up. Probably the first target we're looking at really is that H1 support, H4 support down here, and we'll get back in a sec. So this is something we like to see when we're breaking a trend line, is we've breached the trend line, but we've closed outside of the trend line, and we've got a new candle forming here outside of the trend line. So the expectation here is that price would retract back to here, because trend lines don't really like to be broken, and so there could be a little bit of trying back here to get back through on the other side of the trend line, but if it fails and we're over this side of the moving average, we'll be heading downwards. Target will be, if we have a look down here, you can see I've got a H1 fractal support line sitting right on this bit of support there. There's a lot of hits against there, so that's our first target. So let's watch and see. Where would our stop be? Well, I'm looking at my stop being just on top of this one here, which happens to be it's classified as the M1 resistance, which hasn't been broken for a while. It's the thicker of the M5 lines. So I'm just above here, and potentially we'll be moving our stop down shortly to just above the trend line. Just going to draw the daily pivot in here off the THV chart, which is at 125.83. So we've got some idea of where price could be going to. So I'll just put that on so you'll see it shortly. I seem to have lost my Cam Studio for some reason. Here it is. Okay, right, and to finish up on this trade, what happened to me here was that I had a stop, very short stop just above this point here. I could have taken a much larger stop, but I wasn't wanting to risk that much for the potential profit that could be taken out of this trade. So I got stopped out for very short amount, 10 pips, so I'm down 18 pips so far for the day, but I'm pleased that my stops have been quite short. I might get another opportunity to enter this trade back up here somewhere. I was doing some programming when this happened, so let's wait and see. Happy again that I followed all my rules, and yeah, we missed out on a trade here that could have ended up giving us a lot of profit, but hey, doesn't matter, another one will set up later on, and we're only 18 pips down, so we've got plenty of opportunity to make back what we've lost here. So never get despondent about the fact that you lost and then the trade is going in the direction you want. Potentially it could have gone in the opposite direction and you could have lost a lot of pips. I only lost 10 pips, so very happy so far.